Well, this is the condition of the glass hive at this point. The population is growing exponentially as each week goes by. And the bees are returning to the hive above. That's where the queen is right now. She's doing all of her egg laying and hatching is all taking place up there for the time being. As the weather warms up, she will move down into these natural combs and begin to lay eggs in the center of this block of comb, which is really quite extensive. And the bees are moving down quite nicely into and populating this area, filling it with pollen. They're coming in with amazing amounts of pollen every day. And the honey, I think there's a bit of a dearth of honey going on right now. They're concentrating on pollen, which means that there are lots of babies being born, because that's primarily what pollen is used for, is the feeding of the baby larva. And you can see the ladder that I put in a while ago, and they've been using it during the day to climb up and down. But they're also climbing up and down the glass and doing whatever they need to do to get where they need to go. I'm hoping you'll see some dancing going on, but I think that most of the dancing is probably going on up in the main hive right now. They were dancing earlier. I was watching them doing their little circle dance earlier. I can't, it's hard to describe. I mean, this hive is in my living room. It's right, it's connected to a window, and they have full access to the outside, but it's right here in my living room. And my living room is starting to smell like honey, a rich, dark, deep honey smell. And you can see how they cling together when it's cool. And this is to create a blanket of warmth for the larvae, which are upstairs, of course, and they're doing the same thing upstairs. I think the upstairs chamber is entirely full, top to bottom, side to side, with bees. And this is the excess population that is making its way down. But they do like to cling together and stay warm during the night. And they're also, it's very, very difficult to see what they're doing on the comb, but they are actually perfecting, cleaning, polishing, and preparing the comb for honey and pollen. If you watch them very closely, you see the individual bees are actually working. They're actually perfecting the edges. They are injecting, earlier in the day, they'll be injecting with their proboscis. They will inject fresh nectar into the cell to be evaporated during the day by bees fanning their wings. But they are meticulous, and they work on the comb constantly. So all these bees you see down here aren't just resting, but they're chewing away at the wax and perfecting and shaping and actually increasing the size of the comb. Since I introduced these new bees into here, the comb has been growing slowly down in the lower section, but it's growing. This piece, for instance, this piece right here was non-existent. The very white, light-colored was non-existent. They've built that in just the last few weeks. But it's slow during the winter. They don't build as much. In the summer, they can build an entire comb of the size here. Say it's 10 inches by 9 inches. They can grow a piece of comb like that in a matter of about 4 days, 3 or 4 days, and fill it with honey. It's really extraordinary how fast they can make honeycomb. And in case you didn't know, the wax is produced from their bodies. From their abdomens, there are glands that produce little sheets of crystal clear wax. And they use that, they grab it with their mandibles, and they chew it, and they build these perfect hexagons. Okay, well, I just thought I'd give you a little show, because I'm going to cover them back up again. It's kind of a cool, rainy night, and I don't want to let all the heat out here. Okay, good night.